We're glad to have you back. Well, let's go to market and see Mr. Dele Sanusi, who is my guest for us to continue this conversation. Mr. Sanusi, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Sir. Thanks for having me.
Yes, the market is starting the month of September on a beautiful note. It's in green. Take us through the market fundamentals and what has happened today, the first work day in the month of September.
Yes. If you could remember last week, I said that we are going to have so many activities before the end of the year. Sorry, before the end of the last month. And if you know, this is September now, and September is the last month for this quarter. So we are still going to have so many activity as we are going to have many activity in this month because it's the third quarter, the end, the month, terminate the third quarter. And also, you have seen in the banking sector, they have started bringing out their corporate action, like Zenith said that they are paying interim of 1 naira, and investors are trying to position in the other stocks so that as they are bringing out their interim dividend, they can maximize their profit. So also, as I said before, so many reposition is taking place already. So many, you are going to see that the oil and gas sector is continuing to do. You will see the price dropping in the international market, but you are going to see that in that sector here, you see that what the price are going up. Like if you look at Oando now, Oando is somehow undervalued, so the investors are trying to reprice it to get to the normal price. So we are going to have so many repositioning and so many repositioning, so many corporate action coming out, and investors, they need to, take position so that they can maximize their profit.
So is this a good time? Bringing your money into the Nigerian market. We talk of FPIs, we talk of FDIs, but at the moment, FPI seems to be more than the FDIs. You would agree with me. When are we likely to build this confidence, Mr. Sanusi, and we get the expected FDIs into our country?
Yes, FDI is very, very important, and FDI is very, very important, because that one is one that's going to help us to consolidate and to expand our economy. But if you know that the government also has a role to play in terms of their policies, in terms of the rule that they are bringing out, are we investor friendly? Those are the things that we need, that are going to put into the equation for the investor to come in, because the ability to repatriate their fund back after the investment also is very, very important. So those are the things that the investor will look. Fine, opportunity may be here, but what are the other factors also that surround this thing for them, for the for the easy inflow and outflow of their funds is very, very key.
I must thank you so much, Mr. Dele Sanusi. It's good to have you start market analysis with us this week.
Thank you.
Well, let me take you outside our shores. Securities market fell slightly today as investors brace for a data-packed week, culminating in a U.S. jobs report that could decide whether a rate cut is expected this month and would be regular or supersized. Eurostock 600 index fell 0.35% after hitting a record high on Friday. Germany's DAX and Britain's FTSE 100 were down 0.21% and 0.1% respectively. Chinese stocks lost 1.7%, led by losses in real estate after the survey showed home price growth had slowed. Shares of New World Development, a major Hong Kong property developer, dealt 14% after it estimated a net loss. Features for the U.S. S&P 500 were down 0.15%. And while those tech-laden NASDAQ 100 were 0.24% lower, U.S. stock markets will be closed for a Labor Day today, and treasuries were untraded. Now, the latest survey shows that the Eurozone manufacturing activity remains stalled in contraction. That's in August, with the data suggesting a recovery could be some way off the demand and some way off suggesting that it fell at its sharpest pace this year. According to S&P Global Ratings Agency, HCOB's final Eurozone Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index stood at 45.8 in August, just ahead of 45.6 preliminary estimate, but firmly below the 50 mark, separating growth from contraction. The index covering new orders sank to 43.3 from 44.1, its lowest since December. Demand from abroad also fell at its fastest rate this year. This decline came as manufacturers raised their prices for the first time in 16 months, driven by factories in France, the Netherlands, Greece, and Italy. Blackstone is closing a deal to acquire Australian data center operator. That's for about $13.5 billion, including debt. The New York-based alternative assets manager and air trunk owners, Mascoing Group Limited and PSP Investments, are negotiating the final details of the transaction that could be signed this week. Blackstone has emerged as the preferred buyer for air trunk, and after outbidding other rival bidders, Blackstone has been competing with separate consortium that includes IFM Investors, PTY Digital Bridge Group Incorporated, Global Infrastructure Partners, and Silver Lake Management. Blackstone has been in talks with the banks for the loans to be raised at the holdings company level on the top of the $7 billion Australian dollars pre-arranged funding package provided for bidders that 4 banks have underwritten, while private credit funds have been in talks to provide at least $1.5 billion Australian dollar of junior debt. Where crude oil prices extended losses today on expectations of higher OPEC Plus production from October, while signs of sluggish demand in China and the United States raised concerns about future consumption growth. Now, U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude sells for $73.45 with a decline of 0.14%. Brent also experienced a downward review of 0.16%, selling at $76.81 per barrel. Bonnie Light sells for $78.62 with a downward price margin of 2.84%. And for the OPEC basket, crude oil dealers are offering $78.10 per barrel with a decline of 0.19%. Again, for the market today, we have gainers. We have Oando, IMG, E-Transact, Corn Oil, and UPL. The market is up 0.19%. Losers, RT Briscoe, Conest, Dar Communications, WAPIC, and Champion Breweries. That's our package this Monday. Thank you for being a part of it. I'll see you tomorrow, same time. We'll talk some more business. Stay safe, get busy, make some cash. I'll see ya.